right, everybody. Thanks for joining us in the Stories and Songs podcast. Today, I have my friend Chris Clark in the studio. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, Tim? How are you? Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. This is great. I love it when I get to see you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. How's everything going?
Everything's going great. Just getting this music video ready to roll out and all that.
Yeah. What song is that for?
Oh, that's for Glass Half Empty. So unlike the Girls of Tennessee, where I only had a lyric video, this one's going to have lyric video and music video. And we had a big production with it, which is pretty cool.
What, did you just recently do that?
Yeah, like a little bit over a month ago.
Okay.
And then I've just been kind of waiting for it to be edited and all that by the team and everything. So
yeah, very cool.
Looking pretty good for it though. Hopefully, CMT will pick it up and maybe some country broadcasting station, something like that.
Yeah, get it all over the internet.
Yeah,
man.
and YouTube, obviously.
Heck yeah, you can do that yourself, huh?
Yeah. How have you been?
I'm good, man.
Yeah,
dude, just super busy with this podcast. I mean,
yeah.
Anytime I can get somebody across the table from me, I'm going to take that opportunity. So
yeah, opportunities are good.
Yeah, for sure.
Take everyone.
But it's paying off. I mean, I don't have any money from this thing. I'm not really looking to get monetized, but hopefully it'll happen
eventually,
someday.
Sponsors and all that.
Yeah, and it'll be a thing, and that's really what I'm hoping for.
I love it.
I'm just waiting for Joe Rogan's people to call and go, hey, Joe wants to be on your podcast. So.
Yeah, you give me a little bit of a Joe Rogan vibe. I like it.
Yeah, I think
cool.
We both have the bro science mentality, and neither one of us put up with any shit.
Exactly.
If I'm being honest.
Exactly.
So
Good.
I'm 50
Makes
years old. I don't need to. So anyway, so what do you got going on this summer, man? Music wise,
so we're gonna be releasing a couple more songs. We're working on music videos. I'm working on performance related stuff, getting the band together and everything.
Yeah. So you're building a band right now?
Yeah, building a band.
So how are you going about doing that? I'm really kind of curious.
I mean, I get a couple people from Colt, get a couple people from Precious, from different parts of my team that, people that they know. I mean, Colt knows probably everybody. Mm-hmm. Colt's my producer. Colt Barber.
Okay.
Yeah. He's really good.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of there's a lot of muscle here in town,
Sure.
Musician wise, and it's pretty easy to kind of find someone that needs a gig or something like that. Mm-hmm. But when we get onto like the radio tour kind of stuff, I want to have another guitarist there too, just in case.
Sure.
So I want to be able to do my best by myself, but until that happens, I want to
bring a little insurance along.
Yeah, bring a little insurance.
Sure. I've done some radio tours, man. It's brutal. I mean, they're brutal for a while. And we did I want to say 35 weeks. Or not 35 weeks, I'm sorry. 35 consecutive radio stations probably in 10 weeks.
Wow.
Time.
That's crazy.
And I was sponsored by Hertz Rent-A-Car. I had this little Chevy Volt when they were first out.
Yeah.
And I could fit my backpack, my guitar, and I was sponsored by a bat company called Dinger Bats.
Dinger Bats?
Yeah, I had aspiration to be a ball player at one time.
I was like,
but my song,
bats?
No, like baseball bats.
Yeah, baseball bats.
But my song was called Broke, my single.
Okay.
And they actually engraved on all the bats, cranking out the new hit Broke by Tim Ash.
Oh, love it.
And then they had the radio station's call letters on there.
Oh, that's...
And I would bring it to every one of the managers. And I had a guy stop me at CRS a few weeks ago. He's like, dude, I still got your bat hanging in my radio station.
Oh, my God. I want one of those bats.
Yeah, they're cool. There's one at what is it called? The Tin Roof over here on the brand. It's a red one. I had it painted ketchup red, and it says Tin Roof on it.
What?
It's hanging up in there.
I'm going to go check it out after this, man. Probably.
Yeah, it's hanging up there.
Maybe I'll grab a beer, too.
Yeah. So anyway, so you're working on putting a band together, at least a guitar player to go and do radio.
Yeah, I've had, performance coaching and stuff over at SIR, which is great.
With Tom, right?
Yeah, Tom Jackson's. Yeah, and so that was going great, and so we needed to kind of get the next part. So it's kind of in segments, right? Like how it works. Getting all the music written, getting all the music in production, getting at the same time you got your music video stuff, you've got your performance side, and you've got your kind of what's the new kind of merch and marketing and all that kind of thing you've got to do.
There's like 5 pieces.
Yeah, at least, right?
People don't realize everything that goes into it, man.
Oh man. And I've just been trying to study that too. And like each process, like with the Girls of Tennessee, that first one, because, you know, I mean, there's a way to do it, right? I didn't market it at the right time. I didn't put it out on the radio at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't get the radio promoter at the right time. And that one kind of fluttered out a little bit. So this next one, we're doing it right, which is great. The glass half empty, you know, it's going, I mean, it got Billboard charted, which is good, but it got Billboard charted early.
Nice.
Which is sweet.
Well, there's something to be said for being patient, man, and for really kind of waiting, knowing when to shoot the arrow when you need to the right spot. Right?
Yeah. And like with that, like patience is kind of like, I mean, for me, it's like looking to the next thing while you're waiting for something else, you know, because you can be patient. If I just have one thing that it's on my mind and I'm doing, I'm just going to like think about that one thing, you know, and that's hard to be patient. But if you get more stuff going on in your life, you know, or, you know, especially with like, you know, I can be patient for the music video, but I can still be working on new stuff that excites me. So I'm not thinking about that. So,
Yeah. Working on the next song or whatever.
Yeah. So patience is a virtue. It's important.
Well, I think that, you know, I had Corey Lawson in here a little bit ago. You met him, and he and I agreed that we all have it all ADHD, whether we're diagnosed or not, because you have to.
Man.
You got to be able to be in 5 lanes at one time, multitasking all of them, you know, but your focus is this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And as long as you can do that, you're okay. And if like, you know, I told you before, you have a good team behind you doing that stuff. So you're doing good, man. It's a good thing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So let me just ask you a few questions here. If you hadn't become a musician, what would you be doing right now?
Well, if I hadn't become a musician, I don't know exactly. I mean, there's no way to tell, but I mean, I might have been an engineer because I used to be a civil engineer. That's what I did my whole life. Like, you know, was working construction, precast concrete. And so with that, it was kind of like, you know, my family has this precast concrete company in California. They build skyscrapers and stuff. And I worked there since I was 12 years old, sorting nuts and bolts and fixing welding leads and all that kind of thing. And putting, you know, getting panels ready, like kitting for panels and all that.
Sure.
And then I worked my way up to drafting, you know, hand drafting and all that. And, you know, I would do that when I was 12 and 13, 14, 15, up to 15. I would just half the day I'd be outside, you know, with the crew, and then half the day I'd be inside hand drafting, learning about all that kind of thing. So, you know, it was and then like when I was 16, I joined the union. My family had like, you know, they had me working with the union, like, you know, as a laborer and then as an iron worker and then as a carpenter. You know, I apprenticed so many, you know, crazy cool people, but nuts. They're nuts.
Yeah,
a lot of them, but they're good. I really respect them. They're hard work.
I was a union pipe fitter for 15
Oh, nice.
years.
Okay.
So I get it.
You know how it is.
It's a bunch of crazy people.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? I was just sitting here doing some editing on some of these podcasts I've done over the last few weeks. And I wanted to pop in and say thank you so much for being a part of this with me. It's so exciting, this journey I'm on and where it's all headed, all the new people I'm getting to meet and all the old friends I'm getting to interview. If you would, down in the description, it has a like and subscribe option and a follow button and a bell. If you guys would hit that notification bell, like and subscribe, and have all your friends do it, all your family and everybody that you know that can come in and do that, that really helps me out with the algorithms, and it will really help my channel to grow the way that it needs to. Again, I thank you so much, and I appreciate all of you very much. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, and then I went to school in Northern California for civil engineering, and yeah, I loved physics and engineering and partying. Obviously, you know, out to Chico State. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But music is your passion.
But music's my passion. So, I discovered that late. So I discovered that really in 2019. I didn't even know. I didn't think I had a musical bone in my body. It was weird because I just fell into it. I kind of got I got in with some buddies from college who he was some other buddies that were living in Sacramento, California at the time. That's where I'd moved to do my engineering job. And they said that, they're rappers or whatever. And, like back then that was kind of in, the rap kind of stuff.
Sure.
And, for a white boy like me from Northern California, you see us bumping that kind of stuff in the cars before. But so they gave me an opportunity to do some management for them. And it was interesting because it wasn't really management. I just gave them, a large sum of money and that I'd been saving up, gave it to them, to finish their album and finish their music videos and all that kind of thing. And then bought them studio equipment.
So that's kind of a producer management role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd fly them out to LA to like the production,
Sure.
To the recording studios and to produce more music and stuff. But and then they ended up kind of screwing me over. So I quit my engineering job for this. Like I was kind of, sitting at the desk all day, like engineering and stuff. And I'd just be like,
well, if you want it or not, you don't want it. You know?
Yeah. I thought I wanted it my whole life.
It's always something you can fall back on. But
Exactly.
While you're young, how old are you?
28.
28.
I'll be 29 on the 1st.
You got all kinds of time, man. You can try this out for a few years and see how it goes and keep that in your back pocket.
I ain't leaving this.
That's good.
I love it. I love what I do.
Hear. That's good.
Yeah, it gets me excited to talk about music.
So man.
Basically I moved back in with my parents, right in Davis, which is like 10 minutes from Sacramento. And I wasn't working engineering anymore. And I brought back my studio equipment. And I had a buddy over and he was singing some Morgan Wallen Chasing You. And like I had just set up the Pro Tools and everything. It was all, going on. And I was like, dang, like this sounds good. And then like I went on there, I'm like, I know I could sing. And then I, tried a couple times and I was like, wow, actually I just improved rapidly. I was like, okay, I can sing. Yeah. Like, I can actually sing a little bit. And then, so basically like my dad, like I'd bring out songs, like cover songs that I'd bounce, and I'd bring it out to my parents and stuff like every night. Cause I was moonlighting that while I started working with my dad selling packaging, bottles and caps and all that kind of thing, distribution and all that. So that was an interesting path too. But I bring out my songs to my dad and my mom and stuff. My dad'd be like, "You get that crap off of here." Like, yeah. And then eventually like 2 years later, I didn't stop. I'd do this every single night. Like I started going from cover songs to finding my own instrumentals and singing other songs over that to writing my own songs over instrumentals, and then finally I got the chance to come to Nashville a couple of years later. So this was in 2021. I got the chance to come to Nashville. I met Tommy Collier, who's a producer around here. He produced for Katy Perry, or co-wrote with Katy Perry a little bit, and some Ashley McBryde stuff. Southern Babylon. He wrote that.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah. And so him and I wrote the next 11 songs of mine. But the first one I remember, this is like why I came to Nashville, to write and produce one song within like 2 days. So I get here and there's some other stuff that has to do with an ex-girlfriend, which is crazy crap, which I'm not even going to talk about.
That's always good songwriting material.
Yeah. And actually, that song's called Small Town Heart Attack. And I'll share it with you sometime soon. Yeah. You're going to understand. So we get this song going on. We write it in one day. I'd written, a good amount of it already in California. And then I had my melody in my head kind of.
Sure.
But he started, busting out some interesting guitar licks. And I was like, all right, this is cool. So changed it up a lot. And then went to the studio in Mount Juliet, which is like our buddy, Jimmy Cooper, or Tommy's buddy. He's an old time kind of, a little bit older, Christian country kind of guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So he, so he would produce my stuff. So you can find me on any of your streaming platforms, Chris Clark. You can just type in Goss FMT or, another one of my songs. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. But yeah, you can find me anywhere in officialchrisclark.com.
Okay.
And that's my website.
Cool.
Right
Everybody
on.
go check him out.
So thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Chris, thanks for coming out
I
today.
appreciate you
dude.
having me.
Absolutely, dude.
Sweet.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out in the Stories and Song Studios today with me and my friend Chris Clark. And
Thanks,
go
guys.
check him out at everything.
Officialchrisclark.com.
All right. And I'll put that up on the screen.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out today, and I will see you in the next one.